Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom, and it is time for our August 2021 release hop. Hey there, so I am using our flag dies, our word bubble dies, our Sunburst card mat dies, the pocket tag dies, and our gnome brood stamp set. I'm also using our banner dies and our fancy heart dies and Kawaii coffee breakfast icons, which is the freebie with purchase, and our mushroom for coffee, which is a new set from this release this week. I'm also using Reminisce's coffee and tea kit and Honeybee's fresh brewed 6-inch pad. So I went ahead and pre-colored these images with Copic markers, and I highlighted them with the secure white jelly roll pen and a number 10 and cut them out with my Brother Scan cut with a 0.4 border. There we go. They're all stamped onto Neenah Desert Storm 80-pound cardstock and stamped with Ink on 3's blackout ink usually. So now I am adding score tape to the front of a card mat die. Now you don't have to use this. You can cut out a piece of paper that's 4 by 5¼ inches. That's the size of the Sunburst card mat. And I'm just adding it to the back or to the front of this so I can easily line up, the frame of the Sunburst card mat die, and then add in all my little puzzle pieces to make my background. So I'm just using a pair of Tim Holtz shears with non-stick blades to cut the score tape off. There we go. I'm burnishing it down with my Teflon bone folder, and then I'm going to peel it off, and then I'm all set to add my Sunburst card mat dies. And you'll notice that's a piece of scrap cardstock there. Now I cut it out of 3 patterns from that Honeybee Stamps Fresh Brewed, and then that teal color is Doodlebug's textured cardstock in sea glass. And this brown that I'm sticking down, the brown frame, that is Paper Tray Inks dark chocolate cardstock. There we go. And I'm just sort of making sure it's stuck down just using the release paper. There we go. And now I will be adding in all my little puzzle pieces. So I really love this die. I've used it a lot lately. I think it's great. You can, use whole pads of paper and make tons of cards, or you can even use scraps to cut out the little pieces. I've done that too. But this time I just cut whole sheets of paper. And there we go. All my dies are cut out using my Gemini machine. There we are. And I'm using my EK Success reverse tweezers. Now, sometimes I use them. Sometimes I just use my fingers. It just depends, I guess. And I'm just quickly, filling in my pattern here. And I kind of wanted to use teal with the brown because I find that teal makes it pop. That's why I chose the colors that I did for my Copic markers. I tend to choose my paper first and then I color accordingly, and that's what I did. And all those colors will be listed on my blog. I always list everything that I use on my blog, so it's easy for people if they want to recreate the same item. They can just go to my blog and see the entire recipe. So there we are, quickly just adding these pieces down. I find this is the easiest way to use this Sunburst card mat die. There we are. I'm just going to make sure it's all stuck down. Now this is a piece of Paper Tray Ink craft cardstock, 4.25 by 11, scored at 5½ inches to give us a vertical A2 size card. I'm just using some ATG tape there to stick it down onto my card base. There we go. And now this is a rather simple card once you do the background. And the background's easy. It's just, it takes a little time to stick all the pieces together. But I find it oddly satisfying. I don't know why, but I really enjoy it. Now, when you're using the flag dies, they are solid. So what I like to do is I like to have a frame that I keep in the die package, and I cut it out. I keep it in there, and then I stamp my sentiment and I line up the outline of where it cuts. And then I can quickly line up that die and make sure everything's straight. And then I just tape it down and I send it through my die machine, and everything's nice and straight. So that's what I do. Now I'm just going to cut off the overhang here. I just stuck it down with my HEG tape again. There we go. So brewing with my Gnomies. Super cute. And now I'm going to add my adorable little gnome from that stamp set, Gnome Brood. That was a last year one, but super cute. Can't remember. Did I say that I stamped all my images on Desert Storm 80-pound cardstock? Well, I did. just in case. So I usually stamp on Neenah Solar White when I'm coloring on white, and then if I'm coloring on craft, it's usually Neenah Desert Storm 80 pound. That's just kind of my deal. So now I'm adding some dimensionals to the back. These are from Stampin' Up, just the normal size and the mini. And I'm just sort of filling in all the space, and then I will add my little gnome brood gnome. And then I'm going to add my little coffee pot thing right there also, using my EK Success reverse tweezers just to get things lined up straight. Now I've got my pocket tag die, and I'm going to quickly make this. This I cut out of Neenah Desert Storm 80 pound cardstock. I'm adding some thin score tape. I think that's 1/4 inch, and I'm just adding it to the tabs. I'm going to burnish it down with my Teflon bone folder, and I will fold along the score lines. So easy peasy stuff. I'm just going to peel off the release paper, and then I will quickly stick this all together. This is super fast. It's a super easy gift that you can give someone. You know, throw a gift card in there, or even money. You know, it's a great little gift. There we go. So now that pattern paper is also from the Honeybee Stamps Freshly Brewed. Cut it out with the front layer die. And I just used the leftover score tape from when I was, you know, covering that front panel. I had a few little pieces, and I just used that on the back of this. But of course, I was having a hard time getting it off. There we go. I have no nails, people. No nails. Okay, so now I've just quickly peeled that all off, and then I will line this up on the front of this little pocket tag die. This is one of my favorites. I used tags every day this week, just, you know, because Jaded Blossom has a plethora of tags, and they're wonderful. And sometimes we forget about them, but, you know, they're so useful. So now this piece of cardstock, I just recut that circle part of the pocket tag die, but that is from that Reminisce Tea and Coffee pad. I had a little bit of it left. And what I'm doing is I'm just cutting just inside the line, so it gives a little bit of a framed, so there's a little bit of edge showing. There's no layer for the inside, and I just kind of wanted to give it a layer. Now, if you were using two-sided paper, you'd have a different pattern on the inside, which is fine, but I decided that's what I'd like to do. Now, I cut out this little trim piece also from that pocket tag die using that Doodlebug textured sea glass cardstock. I'm just going to add that with some score tape. I'm going to add that along the inside edge, which is kind of fun. So just lining it up, making sure everything's straight. You don't want anything to look goofy. There we go. And then I will add my interior piece of this little hand-trimmed area. I kind of liked it. I like the little framed area. And when you cut it out, there's a little impression that's perfect. So you could really just cut along that and you're pretty good. So that's what I did. Just adding it to the inside of this pocket tag die. And I'll just line up the holes to make sure everything's straight. And there we go. So easy peasy stuff. And I kind of like it. It looks kind of cute, eh? There we are. So now I'm going to add some ribbon. And that is Stampin' Up! Grow Grain. And then that is American Crafts just in teal. It's kind of like a teal satin look. And I'm going to layer them and run them through that little hole. So, you know, fun stuff. I think tag dies are so useful. I love them. Tying them onto a little gift, you know, tying them onto like a bottle of wine or something. You can have a gift card in the actual tag itself, which is pretty handy. I just think they're really cute. There we go. I'm just trying to make sure everything's lined up nice, and I'm going to use my reverse tweezers to hold it. And then I will use some American Crafts twine and just quickly tie a little bow around this. Now, you know, normally I use my bow easy, but if you're actually tying around something, you kind of can't do that. So I'm actually tying it with my little hands here for the, you know, I don't do it very often, but there we go. And then I'm just going to make sure that everything's straight, and then I will trim off the tails. There we go. I just thought it matched with the craft cardstock that I had going on, so that's what I was doing. Now I will, you know, trim the ribbons all at an angle, and I'm using my fabric scissors here, or just scissors that I keep just for trimming ribbon and fabric. There we go. So now that's my little gnome. And I'm going to pop him up onto my card with my, that's 3M foam tape this time. There we go. And I will stick this adorable guy down. Like I said, all the colors that I used will be listed on my blog. And now I'm popping up my sentiment that I cut out using the word bubble dies. And I'm going to pop that onto the tag also to kind of make it look like it's coming out of his little mouth there. That is a gnome coffee cup. I don't think they talk, but you know, creative license and all that, right? There we go. So kind of cute, eh? I think this is an adorable card. And then that is the coffee bean. And that is from that Kawaii coffee. Sorry guys, I keep looking back. Kawaii coffee breakfast icons. That's the freebie with purchase. There we are. So now I am adding little hearts. These are from the banner dies. And I'm going to add 3. I'm adding 1, that's from the banner dies, and then the other 2 are from the fancy heart dies. And I'm going to pop those up with Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. There we go, that one. And then the last one I'm going to glue flat because, you know, you have to kind of slide a gift card in there, and I didn't want to have to compete with that. So there we go. Isn't that cute? I just love using these hearts for this. I just think that they're adorable. I was just deciding if I wanted to put one on the coffee bean, but I decided not to. Now on the inside of this card, I'm using a piece of leftover paper from that Honeybee Stamps Fresh Brewed. That's 1.5 inches. I'm just going to use my Stampin' Up! Pad to make sure it's straight. And then I will trim off the extra. And that is a 1/2 inch wide piece of that Doodlebug textured cardstock in sea glass. And I'm just going to trim off the tails. There we go, easy peasy stuff. And then, yeah, so pretty cute, eh? And now I'm going to add in my little heart. And that, I just think it adds something, right? Pretty cute. And then I'm going to add a few of these hearts to the front of this card because, you know, why the heck not, right? So I'm going to glue them down with art glitter glue. And that is how you have a nice, super quick and easy card, I think anyway. There we go. So cute. There it is. And then there's the inside. And you can stamp your own sentiment on the inside if you want to make it a birthday card or whatever. And then that's what a gift card would look like in there. That's a keg one, but you know, you get the gist. And there we are. So thank you so much for stopping by. To be sure to hop on through the hop and check out all the design team's projects because they are amazing as always. And thanks for watching my videos for this whole release. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Bye everyone.